So I think what's a really important lesson around marketing channels and Breather's growth is doing things that don't scale for the first 100 or even first 1,000 customers, and building the relationships on the ground first. Breather's a very hyper-local product, and so understanding the nuances of an individual market is very important, and cultivating those relationships with office managers and HR professionals and freelancers that are using us is fundamental to our success, and word of mouth that builds organically at a grassroots level in a city. Once that is built and established in a market, be it New York or San Francisco as an example, employing more digital channels, be that email marketing, be that email drip campaigns, sponsorships, affiliate partnerships, a whole bunch of different types of tactics. But I think fundamental to all of that is still cultivating the relationships at a ground level first to make sure that people are talking about the product and are excited about it. Customer needs do vary depending on the market to some degree. For example, in Los Angeles, we'll see a few more freelancers or individuals in creative industries or film production. Whereas in New York, we'll see more business travelers that'll be booking Breather spaces for phone calls to meet with clients instead of meeting at Starbucks. But I think what's interesting about Breather as a product is that it's very versatile to begin with. So I'll see a worker come in from a company for a team offsite who will like the aesthetic of the room so much, she'll book it for her bridal shower 3 weeks later. So a lot of different use cases, depending on the different needs that we've been able to learn. As we've learned more about different use cases, some of the marketing channels have changed. We've definitely done more marketing towards, let's say, the education and training segment these days than we did previously, because we've learned that a lot of GMAT prep, LSAT prep, coding schools are using us on a regular basis. And so embedding ourselves and being part of those communities and helping build top-of-mind awareness with those individuals has been really critical, so that people know, hey, you can use a breather, you can book a breather, and it's really easy to do. Some of the interesting things about marketing channels, some of the surprises we've seen have actually been at the hyper-local level. So one example is actually a coffee shop takeover that we did. So we're in buildings, let's say at Spadina in Adelaide or Spadina in King, and we have a space a block away. So we'd go and we'd buy people's coffee for 2 hours. Now what's the cost of a coffee? A couple bucks. Now what's the cost of the conversation or value of the conversation of buying that person's coffee and realizing that they're a senior executive at a company down the street and they're waiting for their coffee? You can have a really rich consumer interaction for a minute or two, tell them about Breather, get their card, which is far more impactful than any email marketing or cold call that I'm going to be able to do. So sometimes even just finding creative solutions at a hyper-local level have yielded surprising results in a positive way. One of the things about building hyper-local relationships is really understanding each customer and treating them individually, whether they be a freelancer or a CEO of a company, really understanding their needs and why they're using the product to begin with. But when using email marketing, some of the challenges that we've encountered have been about bounce rates, specifically around embedding images into the email. One of the things that we want to do at Breather is to be able to actually showcase the spaces, right? Let the space speak for itself, let people see a beautiful space. However, at the same time, the more images and links that you're putting into an email, the higher the spam score becomes when it's sent to a company. And so part of our learnings in doing emails is actually cultivating a better text-based email first from a sales side, to actually get people interested and engaged, and then send them pictures afterwards so that we can at least get through to them initially. So having a growth mindset at Breather is really about getting to know your customers and looking for opportunities to connect with them and to understand how Breather as a product and as a service, as a company, can help serve their needs. As a growth manager, I'm always looking for ways to connect the dots, to get people to experience the product. It's not good enough to just look at pictures. I want people in the rooms. I want people experiencing Breather firsthand. Anecdotally, they can share those experiences better with their friends and neighbors and colleagues, and that's how we grow.